Welcome to our office when we're so glad you're here.
What's the best venue?
We hope you have a productive day.
Eleanor Brooks didn't set out to build a tech company. At 62, she'd already lived a dozen lives. School teacher, nonprofit director, caregiver, church leader. Raised in a tightly knit Mormon household in Salt Lake City, Eleanor had been taught that family came first, faith second, and somewhere in the mix, you made sure to work hard and never expect a handout. Her childhood was steeped in side hustles, not out of ambition, but necessity. Her parents ran a small upholstery business from the garage. Her brothers sold firewood. Eleanor, though, always returned to teaching, the way her eyes lit up when someone got it, the quiet power of helping someone believe in themselves. At 19, like all young people in her church, Eleanor was sent on a mission. Hers to a post-Soviet mining town in Ukraine that looked nothing like the snow-capped mountains of her home. The people there were proud, exhausted, and unpaid. The coal mines had shut down. Families bartered for bread. And yet, she saw grace in their grit. Eleanor didn't know the language. She stood out. She got doors slammed in her face, but she stayed. And when she finally came home to attend university, something had shifted. She was no longer afraid of being uncomfortable. She learned to live in uncertainty. That lesson would resurface decades later, when life demanded she pivot once again. By her late 50s, Eleanor had grown frustrated with what she called the false promise of education. Degrees cost too much. Online courses were scattered and superficial. People were drowning in information, but starving for transformation. She started writing, a self-published book on skill building and growth mindset. It sold modestly but earned her unexpected fans. One of those fans, a young software engineer named Malik, approached her with a simple idea. What if we taught people how to actually do the work, not just talk about it? They created a small course teaching Python basics. To their surprise, it generated more money than Eleanor's salary that year. Still, something bothered her. Too many people said, "I'd love to join, but I can't afford it." It hit Eleanor hard. She knew what it was like to be overlooked simply because you didn't have money on hand. She and Malik began to explore what it would take to turn the whole model upside down. They tried everything: down payments, staggered tuition, corporate sponsorships. But it still excluded the people Eleanor cared about most: single moms, displaced workers, older career switchers. So she made a radical decision. They would train people for free. The students would only pay after they landed a job making $50,000 or more. It was terrifying. Friends called her naive, investors balked, but she pressed on. That company became BloomTech. It wasn't perfect at first. They had to negotiate with Wall Street firms to fund the tuition model. They had to fight for every corporate partnership. But Eleanor insisted on a slower, steadier growth. No bloated spending, no flashy offices, no burn and churn culture. Last year, BloomTech placed over 1,000 students in tech jobs. Their alumni now work at Amazon, Google, and dozens of mid-sized companies that had never previously considered hiring from non-traditional schools. Some students tripled their income. Others bought their first homes. BloomTech has since raised over $100 million and completed a Series C funding round, all while maintaining profitability, a rarity in the world of edtech. Eleanor Brooks, now 68, doesn't call herself a CEO. She still prefers teacher, but the world sees her differently now, as a founder who didn't just build a business, but a bridge. And every time a new student starts BloomTech, often someone overlooked, underestimated, or counted out, Eleanor smiles, because her story, like theirs, isn't over. It's just turning the page.